She's sacked him. A great bull rush by Chris Jones.
He's not banking on the skill that he's been blessed with.
It's a Kelty. Touchdown! Kansas City, the 10. Still knocked out. Oh, what a run! Out of this world. Sinks it up the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Matthew. The Honey Badger doesn't care.
Right on set.
As expected, it was a tug-of-war, a 26-10 victory over the New England Patriots. Mitch Holthus with you, along with Shawn Barber. On this Chiefs Rewind, we're going to go right to head coach Andy Reid, and when we come back, we got a stat that will knock your socks off. Let's go to Andy Reid, head coach.
As far as the injuries go, Michael Dana strained his hamstring, so we'll have to see how he does there and the next day or so. And then, listen, my hat goes off to the operations staff for pulling this thing off. Anytime you have a sudden change like this and switch a day, after all the preparation that goes in for the Sunday game, and now you got to work it out for the Monday game, that's a tough deal. As far as the team goes, I thought we made plays when we had to make plays, and we can learn from this, and we've got to do better in a lot of areas. But it's tough to win in this league, and it's tough to beat the Patriots in any situation. They're very well coached, and they did a nice job tonight. Bill, with all the obstacles he had, he really did a nice job. So the 4 turnovers ended up being big for us, 14 points off of that. And I mean, I can go through and name individuals, but I think collectively as a team, we can do better than what we did. But it's a win in the National Football League, and these summer guns are hard to get. And I've been on the other end of this where another quarterback comes in and you don't win the game. So we'll take this one, we'll learn from it, and make ourselves better from it. So with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, Andy, it looked like they were dropping a ton of D-backs, like 6 or 7 guys in coverage. Like, can you just describe sort of the challenges that created and how you guys attacked and what didn't work early and what worked late? Yeah, we started going more to outbreaking routes, and that seemed to work better. We ran the ball better down the stretch. They started off playing cover 2 and man, and they started getting into the drop game. So, it'll be a good tape to learn from.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Andy, you kind of referenced it off the top, but can you kind of explain just how much had to change with you guys playing 24 hours later than expected?
Oh, it's different. We're expecting different though this year. So we had to put it together and do it and kind of back up a step there. They sent us home on Saturday, which we understand, and close the office up. So we were able to get back in as coaches and then work a little bit. But the players weren't allowed back in up until this date. So they have not been in the building. But there's no excuse to it. Heck, we had a game plan together, and it was just one little obstacle that was in there. They had an obstacle. They had to. So, I mean, that's not an easy thing, plus no quarterback. They were using backup quarterbacks, and it was a good experience for those guys, but that's what it was. So.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, it seemed like the momentum was switching a little bit, and then Taco ended up making a really crucial play for you guys. Just how proud of you are you of him, given his story of going away from those 2 teams and finding a home here and making that big play?
Yeah, Taco's made some good plays for us, so that was one of them for sure. It's great for his career going forward, so that's a positive thing for him, and he's all in for right now and enjoys being here and working hard. So
let's go next to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
This COVID is all right. The Chiefs get the victory, 26-10 over the Patriots. That's from Andy Reid. Let's check in with now one of the heroes of the game and one of the newest Chiefs. Taco Charlton is with us. We're going to ask you first about the big strip of Brian Hoyer to get that fumble recovery, because this game, man, was a tug of war all night. What about your ability to pressure and hack the ball out? Getting forced fumbles, my friend, is an art form. What about that play and knocking the ball out?
I mean, that's a good thing about having long arms. I'm able to reach around people. So as I was coming around the corner, I seen he still had the ball right in front of him. So I knew that's a perfect opportunity for me to come around with my arms and knock the ball out. I seen the ball out, and I decided to pull his arms back, and, you know, hopefully one of my guys come up with it, and that's what happened. Made a big play, and we was able to score off of him and capitalize.
Man, big players make big plays in big-time games, Taco. That was one of the big plays of the game. Tell me, what do you feel right now about the kingdom, right? You're new to Kansas City. The Chiefs' kingdom has kind of made you one of their own. You've been newly adopted to the sea of red and what's going on here. What do you feel is different about what's going on here in Kansas City versus the other teams you've been with?
Of course, the unity. I mean, the camaraderie, you know, the brotherhood, you know, of the organization, not even the team, but the organization as a whole and the team. And then, you know, like I said, everybody, I'm just here to, you know, to pick up off the next guy. A lot of great ends, a lot of great rushers. You know, why when they, you know, when they're out, I'm ready to try to make something happen for this team and try to, you know, help this team win games. You know, I'm a new guy, so of course I want to be you know, a big part of, you know, of a repeat and you know, us running the back. So I try to get in there and make plays to help us win games.
Well, you look good in red, by the way. Looks really good in red.
I like it, too. I like red, too.
Wait till we get this place full of 75,000. You'll really like it.
I can't wait.
But I want to ask you, because I said forced fumbles are an art form, and the great players knock the ball out. But your position holding the edge, and in this game, you were asked to do that a lot tonight. They wanted to press the ball against you. What about holding the edge and what you've learned playing this game in the National Football League about the importance of doing that and how you get that done?
Oh, yeah, it has to be done. I mean, we knew coming in that they wanted to run the ball. You know, their QB1 was out, so we knew, you know, the next game plan was going to run the ball and try to play action off of that. So we knew if we stopped the run, we win the game. So, you know, the coach put it on the end that we need to set the edge and have everybody run into the ball. And, you know, we pride ourselves on that. I think everybody in the room kind of pride themselves on playing the run well, setting the edge, and then we all doing our job. Coach always say, your job plus. So everybody did their job.
That sounds like a Coach Spags 101, your job plus. We talk about the perseverance, the attitude, the motor that it takes to make a sack like that. That's purely a coverage sack. The coverage is holding, it's tight in the red zone, so the coverage is holding them, making them hold the ball. You get there, strip sack. Let's talk about the mentality you had when you lined up there. And you knew it was a tight ball game. What are you telling yourself that must happen at this point in the game for that momentum to swing back to the Chiefs to be able to break this game wide open?
Oh, yeah, obviously I knew it was a tight ball game. They trying to go down in the red zone, create a score, and get the momentum. I knew if we can create a stop or if we can get a turnover, it could shift it back our way, and I knew it could change the whole game. So going down, and I knew it was a pass rush moment. I seen the back motion back in. I thought the back was actually going to chip me. So once I seen the back didn't chip, I knew I could go to a pass rush move outside. I did an outside move on him, a jump chop, and I ended up being around the edge and was able to get the strip sack. And then, you know, like I said, I made the play. Hope one of our guys got it. I seen our guys running the ball the other way, and I knew, you know, it's good for us.
But, Taco, I want to ask you came out of a great college program, but I heard this week from talking about mindset. I heard from Spags, mindset. When teams aren't in yet, you guys got 2 stops inside the 10-yard line, 0 points. What about the mindset of this defense, particularly you edge guys, but really throughout the whole defense, is they ain't in until they're in? What about how this defense can grow in that area and what it means to have that mindset?
Oh, yeah, we fight. You line us up across the board, we're a bunch of fighters. So we're going to fight until the last second. And so until they score, we're going to keep fighting and make them not either hurt them 3 or create a turnover so we get the ball. Everybody across the line there, a whole bunch of play smart. Everybody did their job, and like I said, it came official for us.
Playing outstanding ball, my friend. Thanks for coming to the Kingdom. It's only going to get better from here.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Taco Charlton, big-time forced fumble tonight. Ben Neiman got the recovery. 4 turnovers gained in this game by Kansas City. 3 picks. Yep. The pick 6 by Matthew. We saw Rashad Fenton, and I want to ask you about him tonight because he just has grown and grown and grown, playing that outside corner out of necessity because of all the injuries at that spot.
Man, you got to have a short
Let me
memory.
double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You got to have a short memory when you're on that island, man. And so as a cornerback, we know that, they tried to go to that back shoulder fade a few times on him early on, and he sat on it, made big plays. And then they tried to fake back shoulder, hit him for a touchdown. But that short mind frame, that short memory, right? You erase it. Every series is a new series. Rashard Felton, he came up making big plays, big interception to kind of seal the victory. The momentum was already going in our favor, but that interception, I think what it was, that was that last nail in the coffin.
The Chiefs get the victory 26-10, able to just grind this game out because Bill Belichick had this game right where he wanted it. He had it right there.
Kept the running game going, kept pounding it, putting the fullback, lead runs, outside runs. In the short game, keep hitting Edelman and hitting James White to keep the chains moving, keeping Pat off the sideline. And then did enough things creatively to have, Mahomes kind of hold the ball, got off the field a couple times, kept it into a one-score game late into the third quarter. But as you can see, man, what we know, the Chiefs' offense is always electric, always ready to explode, and you can go from being close as 3 points to 20-point lead in only a moment's notice. So, again, we take our hats off. Belichick did a great job, as always, preparing for the Chiefs. But Chiefs Kingdom, you came, you supported, and again, we start 4-0.
First team in NFL history to start 4-0 for 4 consecutive seasons. That is a mind-blowing stat. Some mind-blowing plays tonight from our man Deuce Deuce as we got Juan Thornhill with us tonight. Great job tonight, my friend. Let's start with the interception. And it looks like you've just been more comfortable getting back in the flow week by week by week. It's like the Juan Thornhill we all know and love is back.
I mean, pretty much like on the interception, I was just playing football. I was in my half, and I saw the quarterback looking at number 2, and the ball came, and I just went up and made the play. I was too determined to make that play because I let some opportunities slip in the past week, so I just let that one go. So I definitely had to get that ball.
Well, 2 up, 2 down, always, man. Representing VA, always, my brother from Virginia.
Virginia, man.
Hey, man, DBU. LSU ain't got nothing on y'all, man. Virginia breeds many, many great DBs. So tell us about that high point. That interception was so great. How you high pointed it even higher than the receiver, like you were the intended receiver.
Like I said before, I was just too determined, man. Like I let one slip last week. And then I had to go get this one. I was just wanted to go get the ball, and I think I wanted it more than the receiver did.
Exactly.
And then when I caught it, I really wanted to score. That was the main goal, just to get in the end zone. But I saw too many white jerseys coming my way, and I was just like, usually when guys cut back, that's when bad things happen. So I just ran out of bounds.
Smart man. We all knew that he's smart, man. Anthropology at UVA, okay? You didn't go to Richmond like he did. But I want to ask you, because we think of DBs and picks and PBUs and all that, but in the run game, you DBs seem to have a pride in saying, okay, we're part of the run defense just as much as anybody else. What about your ability to recognize plays, play gap if you have to, or make open field plays tackling, which you also had to do tonight?
So with some teams, they tend to think DBs are just there to cover, and O-line and the linebacker, the D-line and linebackers are there to stop the run, but not here. We incorporated our DBs to go in there, fill in, make tackles, and you just got to go in with a different mentality. Some calls, you basically got to think that you're a linebacker because, we're in the mix all the time. We have to be confident that we can make those tackles. And you can't be scared because a lot of DBs, they usually fold up when you see a lineman coming. But the time with us, we're thick, and then we gotta hold our ground.
Well, coming back off of that injury, man, I can see your determination and your hard work is all paid off. I see you have that cat-like quickness back to your game, and it's an honor to see that on the game day ability. Can you let us know some of the checklists that you go through as far as making sure that you're back on? And when did you actually know that you were back to the same old, what do you call it, the one and only?
It's a big thing with Rick and Julie. They've been doing a heck of a job. They get me in there whenever I can. I got some free time. I go in there and see Rick and Julie. They give me massages, help me stretch, and do a lot of things. It's just a lot that I have to do to get myself ready for the game. But with me, pretty much, it's just I had to just change my mentality. I knew that it was going to take some time to get back to where I was. Mm-hmm. But once I finally fixed my mind and just saying that I'm going to make those plays, I'm going to be the one that I know I am, that's where I started making plays, being more confident when I started the field.
I want to ask you one about how you have to work in concert. Now, we've seen Snead went down with the injury, but now Fenton, who's in your own pledge class, of your draft class, the class of 19, stepping up and playing outside corner out there. The way you guys have to work together, because I would say our safeties can play like corners, our corners can play like safeties, but what about working with them, especially seeing Fenton and what he's been able to do the last several weeks?
With us as a unit, we're pretty united, man. Just like we know each other pretty well. It's not even like we're just teammates. We're more like brothers. So when you know that someone has your back and for example, like I have their back, that's what makes you want to play for someone. And like it makes you lay your body on the line. It makes you play more, make you play better as a unit.
What they say, man, you come in as a teammate, but you leave as a family. That's something very unique to the culture that Andy and Coach Spags is trying to create here in Kansas City. Man, tell me one of the most memorable moments so far being here in Kansas City, especially after celebrating starting another season 4-0.
One of the most memorable moments was honestly when I was at the Super Bowl, just watching my boys go out there and put in work and win the Super Bowl. Like it hurt me the most just because I wasn't out there with them, but I was so happy that they can go out there and finish the season strong, even though I wasn't on the field. So that was the best thing for me. And like just being able to get that feeling with my boys and go out there just to get really excited that we won the Super Bowl. It was like a dream come true, man.
Appreciate it.
I remember seeing you after the Super Bowl, though, and thinking, we'll get you back out here, and you're back out here playing some ball. Juan Thornhill, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you for having me.
The one and only. Now let's go to the other one and only, and that is Patrick Mahomes. And he had to gut out this game, man. He was seeing all kinds of coverages and pressures. Let's go to Patrick Mahomes at the podium.
We'll start with Blair Kirkhoff. Go ahead, Blair.
Hey, Patrick, what is it about the Chiefs defense or the Patriots defense, that makes things difficult for you in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of good veteran players. I think that's the first thing. When you have good players and you do different schemes and you're able to do that, you usually are a pretty good defense. And then as for us, I felt like we, especially me, I didn't execute at a high enough level when you're playing against a defense if you want to go out there and have success.
Go next to Mick Schaefer. Go ahead, Mick.
Hey there, Patrick. I was wondering from your vantage point, the play where they called you dead in the grasp and the ball popped out. Were you surprised that play was called, that you were down?
I immediately heard the whistle blow. I mean, obviously, I didn't know what reason that was, if I was down or if it was based on my forward progress. But I heard the whistle blow, and so I just went along with the game. And obviously, it was a play that hopefully I don't encounter again.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick. I'm just curious, how big was the 45-yarder to Travis late in the third quarter that really got you guys going offensively? How big was that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see it with our team. You've seen it this season and you've seen it last season with this offense. Is even if you kind of hold us down, we can go out there and make plays when they count. That's big. I mean, when you're in games like that, when you're in those kind of dog fights and you're going against teams that are really good, whenever your number is called, you got to be able to make a play. And I thought guys made plays at the end of the game to give us enough points so that we can go out there and get the win.
Adam Fisher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Pat, what was it like preparing for a Sunday afternoon game and then on Saturday morning it gets moved back 24 hours? I mean, obviously the same thing for the Patriots, but what was that like and how did that, you feel like, affect the team's focus and your focus?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a little different, but you have to be able to expect the unexpected. I thought guys did a good job of staying focused, but obviously we didn't have the success as an offense that we wanted to. So just trying to go into this next week knowing we're going against a division opponent with a good team and we're going to play our best football if we want to find a way to get a win.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, you talked a couple of answers ago about executing, that you guys need to execute better. But I'm just curious, they were dropping so many defensive backs into coverage. Was that similar to what Houston and the Chargers were doing to you, or was there a different twist?
I mean, it was a little similar to what Houston was doing. Not so much the Chargers, but I mean, they played well. And when guys were open, it seemed like I wasn't finding them. And I could see it on the tablet after I would go to the sideline and we were calling plays that were getting guys open. I just got to be able to be the guy that find them and get it to those guys so that they can make plays happen.
Let's go next to Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Patrick. Just if you get a chance, could you kind of you all have won 13 straight games. You won games kind of ugly, kind of fashionably. Can you walk us through, what your thought process is on the team and the makeup of the team by being able to win all types of ball games thus far? And then also, my father passed away tonight, but he wanted me to let you know that you were his favorite quarterback before he passed away. So I thought I'd tell you that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for your loss to your family. I'll be praying for you and your family for sure. But as far as being able to win games different ways, I thought we figured out a little bit last season at the end of it. And you have to be able to do that. When you're in these dogfights with teams like this that are known to win games like this, you have to be able to find ways, offense, defense, and special teams. And today our defense stepped up, made a lot of big-time plays. And whenever you're trying to go throughout a season and win as many football games as possible to set you up for the playoffs, you're going to have to win games like this.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go Pete and then Sam. Go ahead, Pete.
Pat, congrats. The Patriots kind of stifled you guys for 3 quarters. What was your messaging to the team on the sideline, midway through the third quarter when it just seemed like nothing was working?
I mean, it's the same thing I always talk about. Just keep fighting, keep going out there and trying to find ways to score. And early in the game, we were moving the ball the way we wanted to move it. We were doing stuff the right way, and we couldn't figure out ways to get in the end zone. And then they obviously got some stops there in the middle. But I'm proud of how the guys fought at the end of the game. And that game easily could have went the other direction. They had a lot of the momentum, but the defense made stops, and we were able to find ways to score whenever it counted.
Go last to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Patrick, I'm wondering if you could just elaborate on what did change with your preparation. How did you spend yesterday, for example?
Yesterday was a little bit similar. We were able to go to the hotel, but the day before, everybody had to get out of the building, and so you still can find ways to watch film and find ways to kind of do different stuff like that. But it's obviously something that you're unprepared for. So obviously I didn't do enough because we didn't execute at a high enough level, and I wasn't able to find the guys. I didn't play very good football, but I thought I did whatever I could to try to stay in tune with the game. And hopefully if this presents itself again, which hopefully it doesn't, I'll be able to do better.
Patrick, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, last but not least is Frank.
Patrick Mahomes from the podium, just super proud of him. Again, this game, he got, and the way Belichick does it, man, he shows for pressures and fronts. We've seen quarterbacks melt down against it or get impatient. And you could have seen Patrick get impatient in this game 6-3. He's going, I'm just going to gut it down there. And that's what New England wants you to do. Then they get you in their trap and they snag it or they get a turnover. I thought tonight he was really patient and tough again, Patrick.
Yeah, and you see some of the throws that he threw the areas and they got hands on it. They didn't come up with the picks. Could have ended up being bad situations for us, but he stuck with the process. And we talk about the process being greater than product. When you have a defensive coordinator that's a mastermind at throwing deception and looks at you, it has you second-guessing yourself all the way throughout the series, throughout the down. And by the time he got back to the computer, was able to see where he made his mistakes. The one thing that I'm so appreciative of Pat Mahomes, he never lays the blame on anyone but himself. I need to do better. I need to do this to adjust. I should have adjusted better. He doesn't go like most quarterbacks, start blaming wide receivers for running the wrong routes every time something goes wrong. He accepts responsibility, but then he has the patience to correct it, make the adjustments, and go forward and keep the team moving forward.
It's why his teammates love him. They love this dude. Now, the other thing to love, and I'm glad we had Taco Charlton and Juan Thornhill on, because you get a glimpse into what the multiple things these guys are asked to do. We see the forced fumble by Charlton. We see the sack strip. We see the picks by Thornhill. But they're asked to do other things, and they talked about it. But on the offensive side, I want to ask you here about the wide receivers, specifically Tyreek Hill. That touchdown's gigantic. The Chiefs could not bust the red zone door down. 6'3", 6'3", sitting there, 6'3", getting holds and stops to finally get a touchdown on an end around. I've seen it as a rush or a pass. We'll see how it's officially. But he waited. I said on the play-by-play, he waited like a running back, like Marcus Allen or Christian Okoye, to wait for those blocks. And it's easy to take that for granted because receivers usually would rush that play and go right by their blockers. And he waited. And it's so tough for a defender. If you're a linebacker and you see that Tyreek Hill has the ball in his hand, you make a beeline. You know how fast, uber fast he is. And to give yourself a chance to catch it with him, you have to just turn on the turbo boost. Well, when he can add patience to it and allow blockers to capture their blocks, it's almost unstoppable, especially when you got Mecole Hardman going the exact opposite direction and you have no idea which one of them have it.
Miko turns the next one we run for a touchdown himself with the same patience for being a punt returner, not a running back, but a punt returner. These guys are so multifaceted. They can do everything. They can run the ball, return the ball. They can run like wide receivers, but they also have the patience to be a running back. That makes them unstoppable with the ball going on the edges.
The other big attribute, we just saw it, was the ability of Demarcus Robinson to block. There's the quick jet that went for the second touchdown that the Chiefs needed to answer to McCole Hardman. But we saw on the Tyreek Hill touchdown, Demarcus Robinson bury his dude. We saw Kelechi Osemele get out there, great move. But then Demarcus Robinson blocked like a Pro Bowl pulling guard. And these receivers will do that. Now, they're not afraid. They'll run routes and do their stuff, but they'll all block for each other. And how easy is it to take that for granted if you're a fan of the Chiefs Kingdom?
We talked about it a little bit on Chiefs Field Pass about how our receiver core, one of the things that Greg Lewis demands from our receiver is they be persistent. And it's not persistent as far as just running your routes throughout it's persistent on running plays, being some of the most tenacious blockers in the league. He doesn't have any patience for a guy who's not willing to fight for their block for their teammates. Every running play has the potential to score if the wideouts, and he says it to him all the time, every running play has potential to score if we make our blocks down the field, second and third level, and can shoot and go out the gate. So we love Coach Coach Greg Lewis. He's coaching those guys up the right way.
We talk about Eric Bieniemy bringing kind of that pit bull German shepherd to it. That's the way G. Lou is with his receivers.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a lot of pit bull in G. Lou. I'm just telling you. We're going to close it out. Now the Chiefs have another short week, but we're going to close it. A lot of you asking about these hoodies. You can get it at the Chiefs Pro Shop, shop.chiefs.com online, or visit the Pro Shop. But the colors represent all of the different cancers. And we talk about it's affected everybody watching this, affected everybody that was at this game tonight, affected the players. We saw it with Damian Williams opting out because his mom has stage 4 cancer. He opted out this season. Lung cancer white, brain cancer gray, breast cancer pink, liver cancer emerald green, lymphoma lime green, prostate cancer light blue. I'm not going to give them all, but stomach cancer perwickle blue. You can look at bone cancer yellow. These colors that represent all those different cancers, because it's a vicious attacker. But we're going to intercept it, just like we had 4 picks tonight, man. We'll intercept cancer and stay working on it. But I know it's something near and dear to your heart right now.
Definitely, man. I just wanted to shout out to my mom, Jean Barber. She's fought cancer for a number of years. Had to get half of a kidney removed, but continues to battle it, continues to fight it. And numerous people in our family, and just our heart pours out for those that have lost people and those. But we still want to remember those that have lost, but also lift up and pray for those that are currently fighting and continue to fight for it. So the NFL as a whole, across the league, crucial catch. Like you say, intercept cancer. Let's do our part. Let's continue to lift people up in prayer that everybody can have a total 100% recovery and with God's blessings. So, man, appreciate it.
3 interceptions in this game. I gave us 1. Intercepting cancer was the 4th.
That's the 4th.
And finally, we'll close it out this way. The Chiefs have a short week again.
Yes.
Because of this game being postponed to tonight from yesterday afternoon. Now the Chiefs have a Monday night short week. Here come the Raiders. Don't bring it up to Coach Reed, man. He's just going to lock in and figure this out. But you do have one less day because here comes a division opponent.
All I got to say is everybody in Kansas City know it's Raider week.
Yes, sir. And as we close tonight, 2 things we got to bring up. Again, 2 amazing stats. The Kansas City Chiefs winning this Monday night game, winning last week on the road on Monday night in Baltimore. It's never happened in the history of the National Football League. And this Chiefs team has started 4-0 for 4 consecutive seasons. I can't believe this is true, but it's true. That's never happened in the history of the NFL, Barbershop, and that's 100 years.
Hey, like Pat was saying last week, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in a row, baby. Let's do it.
All right, let's get ready to run it back. It is Raiders week. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Chiefs Rewind.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.